Love logging in to just see this fucking pile next to your screen. And then you just have to click it off here, I guess. I don't really know, it doesn't go away very often. Anyway, alright, so this is day 3. I'm level 95 at the end of day 3. And I've been playing a lot of PoE, as you can imagine. We are still on a 5 link, unfortunately. But I've made my body that I'm going to be using. And here it is. It's pretty much perfect from where I want. Armor, res, cast res. My last suffix is going to be extra cast res, and then eventually I'll slams, something or whatever on it as the last prefix. No life by design, because I was going to use the life mastery. I have so much flat from gear, I thought the 15% might be better, but either or, it's pretty much perfect. The interesting tech I want to talk about as part of the updates, which is a fun one. So we do have this frenzy charge now, because we were spec'd into that, and we did pick up this endurance charge wheel, because we like our uptime and the endurance charge stuff it gives us with the armor, the AoE, and then the damage is really good. But it's an interesting fact, this also works for any charges that you gain one of progressively off of a body armor, but it's just nice for this build for frenzies, because we have our frenzies through Blood Rage, right? And, I have that hooked up to like a cast and image taken setup, a low level one, just to trigger it so it's always up. If you're mapping, this is always up, right? But for bossing, it falls off unless the boss somehow adds to the mechanic, because that's just Blood Rage doesn't give us anything to go off of. However, if you were to put this body armor on, the gain 1 charge every 15 seconds when you have the charge mastery that has 100% charge duration. It makes it so your charges last 20 seconds. So once you get your first charges off your first pack, you have your 4 frenzy charges for the entirety of the entirety of the instance. Okay, so I'll never be under charges now, so it just makes it that those charges extra valuable, which I like. Now eventually when we move to Ralakesh boots and then have a more charge oriented build, it's irrelevant and we just move on to a better body with better stuff. But for this, it's just nice to passively always have my charges up at the cost of just 1 suffix, which is the Eater one, which I would say is honestly the worst one, or the Exarch one, because the Eater one has the Fizz taken as, which is just better mitigation, so we're going to, prefer to use that anyway. So overall, that's what I'm looking forward to, but my body just refused to link, but there it is. So our slam setup is exactly the same. We don't have our last link for Ruthless, but if we did, we would use it. I don't have anything else to show here. I swapped more duration with the Molten Shell Vuln setup, just because I had extra sockets. I moved some stuff around. And I think that is all. I do have my flask set up now. They're, we're in, as everyone has experienced, a bauble drought, some sort of bauble instilling orb drought where we just don't get a lot, especially baubles. So I'm still working on quality here. But basically this is my suite of 5 flasks. Once I have my cap for Chaos Res, I don't use the Amethyst anymore. It's the one that's the most redundant, I would say. And then the Silver Flask, I probably would keep up just always because it just feels comfy. But I'd probably replace the Amethyst with a Granite. I have, when I'm mapping and when I'm bossing, I have 100% uptime of all these flasks because of the Flagellant roll to the 3. You'd like to get all of it to a 3. And then the suffixes are kind of just up to your discretion. There's a suite of things you could do, things like block and stun recovery is great, armor is great. Yeah, the other ones don't really do anything right now, but there's the crafted mods you can get from Katarina. So I'm going to explore those options eventually, but yeah, these just have 100% uptime, and it feels cool. You end up having, whatever this equates to for resistances. I'm at 85 all res always, and then, pretty much close to cap chaos, and then onslaught just feels nice. So that's always great to see. What else? It's pretty much it for gear. For tree, not much has swapped around, I don't think. Again, I gained the charge and picked that up. The charge is there. A little bit more efficient pathing here because I was debating getting Soul of Steel. It's not bad. Once I get Corrupting Blood, I'm going to drop this sector and start pathing up to the other endurance charge and get Devotion. And I think ultimately we're going to drop this entire section here because it's a lot of points. It's 5, 6 traveling points for a mediocre gain. I do like Veteran Soldier. I do like having the extra mastery. It just seems like it's, unfortunately, a lot of points. I don't know. Veteran Soldier is such a good node, so I'm on the fence about that one. 1, 2, 3 versus there. 1, 2, 3. It's the same travel distance, so hard to say. Let's show a map. I've just been doing nothing but 16s really. We'll just pick whatever. Oh, that's a corrupted ashwood. Let's do a lookout. Is this better? Yep, that's fine. So I've just been doing my maps and stuff, doing nothing but 16s, running the mechanic, and build feels fine. I've done some. Oh, look, Sentinel. Done some Shaper Elder Guardians, literally no problem. Done 10 Liches, just been face tanking them all. No, that's been easy peasy. But yeah, at this stage we're just looking for that 6th link is the next big upgrade, honestly, for us. And then starting to farm out things like Awakened Gems through Maven is going to be big. Starting to farm out a better axe, using Essence to do that. Essence, and then just trying to hit a Deafening of Contempt. We're real tanky still. I have really no issues with surviving most everything. Only thing we'll die to is just a massive initial hit. But aside from that, yeah. Oh, there's a Shrieking of Contempt. I have to go grab my stuff. I don't know if I can, if I lose this Sentinel if I leave though. I will hold off until it's drained its load. But yeah, we're looking to get some ward pieces to get that barrier, which is going to be super, super nice. That chunk of ward. The new belt from the mechanic is super, super strong, I think, for that. It gives you 50% of your body armor as ward, and our body armor's defense is like 3,600, so that's a ton of ward. Ward being a 2% recharge at the moment, or 2-second recharge. So it's pretty much back like instantly. And only when you take damage from a non-blocked hit, so, you know. Seems good. Hope this goes fucking deafening. Oh, did. So clutch. Alright. That means we can just use this to slam on one axe, and all we're doing is we're just hoping for it hitting a higher fizz roll than 120, or hitting hybrid, because then we could craft on for an Exalt up to 120. That's kind of just the goal there. You can see clear-wise, we're just still kind of cruising. You know, rares die very quick. Nothing is a problem. And again, we're on a 5-link, and our gear is, like, offensively not good, so if you want to use a Jack the Axe also, that's like a perfectly fine weapon. You should have enough life reservation to run the aura it gives. It's like a more multiplier to bleed damage. I'm not sure how much it costs in trade. It might be like a little expensive because it's bleed builds are pretty desirable at the moment. But that Jack the Axe you could use until you have like your Void Stone set up, no problem. Like that's good enough to use for pretty much most of the setup of the game. Although I'm on a 5-link, I'm probably going to be doing Maven today, so that's fine. I do have the extra quality on Perf right now, which gives it 1 extra spike, so I do 6 spikes instead of 5. The spikes are pretty, like, far out, and their AoE is a lot bigger than they visually look. So it's honestly fine for clear. It kind of looks like, I end up having, like, roughly the base clear of, like, a normal ground slam, which is, perfectly acceptable. Probably still want to do some lab and get some qualities going, but I've just been waiting for there to be a day where there's not a golden door, because I don't want to do a golden door lab. Makes me sad. Alright, here's some single target without my frenzy charges. It's perfectly fine. Like, you know, if I had a 6th link, it'd be way better. If I had my frenzy charges, it'd be way better. If my axe wasn't from level 70, it'd be way better. But so this is like, you know, if I have to spend 20 seconds killing a map boss, not a problem at all. And we're out of there. So we got an X, right from, there you go, ID3 at least that you want. We take our Deafening of Contempt. We slam it. We actually did hit hybrid. It's tier 7, which is low. It's basically the same, it's exactly the same tier as other X's, but the flat's almost identical. So if you have the tier 2 tempered, right, 39 to 45, is basically the same as the Deafening Essence. So you really want to get tier 1, the flaring, and then somehow regal into it. I think I have a tier 1 flaring here. I guess I lost it. But if you can get things like that dot multi, right, that damage over time multiplier and the suffix, that's super valuable also. But it's not easy to just like make an axe with an essence. It's like, I don't know, like a 1 in 20 to hit something pretty good off of Deafenings, which is like a little rare, I guess. You could just alt spam. You could use fossils. I don't think I have any fossils, but jagged fossils, which I think is that one. Also good. you could legally use, where is it? Let's take this one. It's not really good. Is it purple juice? Yellow juice for physical. This is also not great, but it'll just add one physical tag, which you could use to hope to hit something. But the problem is you can hit things like physical attack damage, leeches life. That's a fizz tag, so no luck there. But yeah, doing this, you can get a weapon. If you're just like one of those people who want to try everything, feel free to try this as well. Because it is possible to hit an axe like this. But just not likely. So this essences, jagged fossils, then just alt spamming. That's kind of it. There's not much else you could do. None of the other essences really do anything for us. We're just looking for the fizz roll. So you're like shit out of luck there. But yeah, just keep identifying Reaver axes, and eventually, and you get something decent. If you have the gold, I guess you could use Faustus, although Faustus just is for random axes. It's probably not good. They are smart rolled, so if you're gonna buy axes from Faustus, you can. For bases, it also works out, but keep in mind you can get unique axes. Your town's upgraded enough, which is kind of a fucking bummer. They're 3,000, and you can get there's tempered, so that's tier 2. And if Val Hatchet's okay. So if you wanted to this point, you would, Aug and then Regal and hope for something good. And that's pretty much where you're at. And then if eventually you get to the point where this is decent, you could take things like 2 Val Hatchets, then recombinate them together. But yeah, until you have your town set up, it's a colossal gold sink to use Faustus. So would not recommend. But that's it. So the plan is to get a 6-link, slap on Ruthless, get my Voidstone, start getting some ward gear, upgrading rares, maybe incorporate some uniques as my rares get better. I still have my Kikuzaras on. Will I have them on forever? It's honestly possible. Kikuzaru is such a good ring. It's very, very strong for what it is. The curse effectiveness reduction is massive in late game, and the regen super powerful for this build. So each ring giving 200 something regen, and then making me immune to curses with having stats, and having implicits with actual res in them. Very possible I'll keep these on for a while, and I'll just start valuing them for specific implicits. But yeah, my shield is also upgraded. It's way better now. It's life, chaos res, max res, fizz reduction, everything you want in a shield pretty much, except for spell block and block recovery, that sort of stuff, and higher life. But yeah, I think Teak is probably the best base, being the block recovery base. People have asked about the Shaper Shield for percent life. Kind of doesn't matter. The Shaper Shield is whatever, really. Blocking and getting 5% life on block is irrelevant, because we're mitigating and blocking so much damage between the ES back, the life back, the ward back, and then just our block rate being so high now that it's the life on block is kind of not that important, because we're not even getting hit, And if we are, we're regenning it so fast, because our regen's about 1/3 of our life instantly. Getting things like recoup is maybe even better, but overall, it's not that important. So, weapon upgrades, 6-link upgrades, that's the next thing. Finishing out our flask suite, and just getting better chaos res. Getting this fucking chest on so I could feel way better. That's the path I'm taking. And hopefully I see you guys taking some cool paths as well. This has been the Day 3 update. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And if not, I'll just see you guys in the live stream. Lighty out.